So good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene for the living world of darkness, Rage Across New York, where 10 Point believes that she is alone. She believes this because Aiden is nowhere in sight. But just because she can't see him does not mean he is not there. Because he's fucking watching her like a fucking hawk. It's ridiculous. All the same, while he will not be visible and portrayed, it is to be understood that the Aiden is probably stealth to hell and following 10 Point around. And what 10 Point is doing um, is meandering to that place on the lake where she so often, actually very often now, finds Helena. Um, Probably coming up fairly close. If there's a tree nearby, that will be the point that she stops. But coming up, investigating, and probably ending up leaning faintly alongside one of the trees, checking up on her.
And so, as 10 Point moves towards the tree, off in the distance you can see the wild Helena in her natural habitat, sat on a flat rock with a blanket spread, headphones on and blaring. Here we see she looks comfortable, almost happy, in fact, making the bird's nests, surrounded by a small flock of birds, pecking at the seeds.
And I think 10 Point will approach the wild Helena, as one does. Not
Young?
like she would notice with the headset on, but worth a shot.
Or so you would think! Dun-dun-dun.
But I would think that.
As if 10 Point begins to move closer. It's funny, you can hear like the faint like murmur of music coming from the headphones. She's like bopping a little bit, as you do. She's bopping, she's jiving, and she's just grooving, making these birds' nests. And almost instantly, that just that bit of sound you make, that squelch of mud almost. Just a little something as you're walking through with a bit of grass. Her head just spins round instantly.
And admittedly, 10 Point was not especially trying to be sneaky. She just kind of assumed. So when she manages to whirl around and 10 Point can still hear her music, she kind of like stops, blinking.
Blink.
There's a faint head tilt.
She just smiles brightly and rolls the headset back, and then you can hear the music a hell of a lot clearer.
How can you hear through that?
What?
You're just very alert.
What do you
Ben
mean?
shakes her head and walks over.
I don't know what you mean.
She'll kind of scooch down a little bit and tap the headset. How could you hear me coming?
You made a noise.
That I did.
The smiles, like, yeah.
She decides that it's not worth questioning and just smiles back and ruffles her hair a bit. You've been here a while, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm here a lot. Why shouldn't I be?
I mean, I suppose you can be wherever you like.
Oh, that's all right. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if there's like any rules about that or anything.
I don't think so. But I do know a place you might like better. Especially if you'll spend so much time there. I know he'd like it better.
I'm not going back to the cup den.
She gives a light shrug. Didn't mean there.
Oh, where?
Why don't I show you?
All right.
Are you very attached to this spot?
I mean, it's flat enough. I can do things on top of it, just pats on top of the rock where it's a little flat on top, where you can like actually lay things out. And it's not on the ground, so I don't get muddy. I like having a bit of view. It's nice to look out on the lake.
It is. Well, then I won't say let's pick up your things, but come on.
No, I'm picking them up. I don't trust bone gnars.
Uh,
It's kind of
well,
like low key says that and shrugs.
she won't fight it, and we'll go ahead and even help her, kind of handing things up so that however she wants to put them away, she can do it just so. Because Lord knows 10 Point likes to put her things away just so.
Yes. But and just so might give 10 point an aneurysm as Helena begins to cram everything that she had out: camera, thread, sticks, antlers, blanket, more blankets. Don't ask where they came from, just blankets, food, iPod, headphones, more stuff, batteries, birdseed.
She just
Into her bag, which
and
is
oh god.
forcefully sealed shut. You can see it's brimming. There's a hole in the bottom right
Oh,
corner of it.
oh no.
Birdseed is pouring out.
Huh. And are we I'll assume we're Telerian side if she has all this stuff.
Yes, yes, we are.
Then she will hold out her hands. May I? We'll have to go across.
What?
I can put it in my bag. Take
Oh,
it with us.
right. Yeah. She'll take it off, hand it over. Just the sheer weight expect. They do the thing where you lean forward a bit. The weight takes you, and she just kind of drops it on the arms. You weren't expecting it to be that heavy.
It's like every time a high schooler like hands over their book bag to a
Yeah,
parent and they're
yeah.
just like, ugh!
It
Yeah,
is
that's exactly
exactly
what
like
happened.
that. But there's birdseed coming out the bottom of it.
10 Point isn't even faced by birdseed anymore. She's accepted it as part of her life. There's just always birdseed. She doesn't know why, but there is. And she will comically somehow manage to put this bag inside of hers. It's a very odd and kind of mind-bending process to watch the potentially much larger bag go into the smaller one.
It's got antlers sticking out of it.
That's okay. With some wiggling, it'll get in there.
Yeah, it's a letter bag with like these two huge antlers sticking out the top of it as it's crammed, almost bursting, putting aside, I assume, a bag about the half the size of it. It's like
She has to
shoving
like
it.
turn it sideways and just. I mean, her own magpie swag, I figure, is the same kind of like shoulder bag,
Yeah, just
but it's
imagining
still
like
a
a super
process.
a super fluffed up pillow being shoved in like
Into a tiny, tiny pillowcase.
yeah, and it's just like it shouldn't work, but it just does.
Yep.
It just does.
And if you want to roll, I will let you go first.
Of course I do.
Of course you do. Do you ever not? Let
No.
me quickly do a thing. There you go. Beautiful.
That was it. But I must also make a second roll. You know why, Katie?
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Because you're you. Because you're
Because I'm me.
fabulous.
Oh, one success.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, 10 Point follows her across in short order.
she'll notice as 10 point comes across, Helena's hair has naturally gone back to its umbra state. It's long, it's flowing, it's foxy.
Foxy.
She'll also notice that Helena has a t-shirt on. She has jeans on.
Okay.
She, however, has no shoes.
You know what? Shoes are overrated.
She's nearly there. Nearly found all of the stuff.
To be fair, 10 Point herself is barefoot every time there's an opportunity, and is at the moment, in fact, barefoot. So she'll take the success. And she will once throw across. Well, I guess actually for the moment, go ahead and continue to carry the bag because that was heavy. Why was it so heavy? She doesn't need to carry it. That's heavy. So
It is heavy.
uh,
She's only 5'3".
yeah. And when she pops across, she'll probably thoughtlessly even. It's just an affectionate gesture. Will like put the arm around her and kind of side hug her in for a moment. And won't like kiss the top of her head, but does that whole thing where you kind of press your lips briefly there and call that good enough. And then we'll begin
Clamped.
leading her.
Clamped.
Clamped. Aww.
Doing that, you're getting clamped. Hold on. I need to roll this. See if she remembers this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she does. She clamps you. Looks up. Kind of, you can see like the flash of, or like she remembers something, the flash of panic in her eyes, and it just kind of goes.
You alright?
What? Yeah, nothing.
And she'll hug her back. Fairly tightly, actually. She doesn't mind Helena being all up in her personal space.
So where are we going?
Over this way. And she'll walk even still keeping an arm up around her shoulders. Because she's probably got the height advantage here. And we'll lead her along. Until they come around to a fairly familiar point, because Helena's probably been there 500,000 times. Ew. And we'll point out the massive rock that's set in what's now a fairly clear area. There's probably still some remainders of foundations from where cabins were set at some point all around it, but now it is no longer the center of a little community. It is merely a rock in a field. A big rock. Big enough that it takes just a touch of climbing to get up on top. Weirdly enough, there is a big bulletin board leaned against one side of it. Or I guess not here, there isn't. So there's none of that, but it is a massive boulder surrounded by blue and red flowers, which have been, to every appearance, I mean, the red ones are a spattering of what grows wild, but the blue are obviously planted, and maintained. And 10 Point will begin leading her over there, saying as she does so, be mindful of the flowers. He likes them a lot.
All right. Okay.
And once she stepped over the rows of flowers, we'll actually very affectionately reach out a hand to just kind of brush over the surface of the massive boulder. And while Helena might not have seen it before, there's a lot of attention being called to it. I'll say, like, do a perception alertness to see if she sees offhand.
I'm doing it well.
Aww.
Oh, that's a botch.
It's a rock, and she's not sure why 10 Point's so fixated on it.
Why is there a bird over there? What's that? Why are we here?
And she will, after brushing it, giving it a fond pat, kind of like one does with a horse or a dog or something in passing, she'll begin to climb her up.
Helena's looking the opposite way. Huh? What?
And she'll offer out a hand. Come on up.
All right. And she'll take the hand and be hoisted up.
She will indeed. And she'll find that while this is not an entirely flat rock, in the way that like one of the big ones alongside the lake would be, just flat and narrow or much shallower. This is a much larger boulder, but it is still certainly flat enough that one could easily, in fact, several guru could probably perch up there, hang out, even sleep side by side. And so once she's up there, 10 Point will begin the process of pulling that impossibly stuffed bag back out of hers. The Rock has been here for longer than I have, and probably longer than any of us have, but he does get lonely. And she again kind of brushes her palm over the giant boulder at the surface, like just next to where she's sitting.
Kind of looks around a bit. Who does?
And the eyebrows go up a little bit, and she kind of looks at Helena and looks down at her hand and gives the big old boulder another pat.
The Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks down at the Rock.
And I'll say that now that she's paying close attention, as she glances down over him, she might begin to see the outlines of maybe where what could sort of be, if you were really like a 5-year-old playing a game and really being artful about it, like maybe he has his head tucked there and this is a shoulder or whatever, but it's kind of indistinct. It's kind of hard to pick out because he is a rock and he doesn't move much. But he's definitely got some features. He's definitely a, an actual living thing. It just takes some real looking.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Don't worry, he likes the company.
Kind of like leans over the edge, looking down to the ground. Oh. Right.
And she'll, in fact, begin pulling out some of her own things, her own little projects, bits of work. Mostly bits of antler slices, longer oblong pieces. Pull out her etching kit. He told me that once there was a whole pack that stayed on his back and lived on and alongside him. I think he misses the company.
Oh.
I spend time with him every day. And if you're looking for a place to lay your head and a place to stay that is away from the den, you would cherish your company.
Yeah.
He's a very kindly spirit. He's one of the only people that knows my name. Reach out and poke Helena on the nose.
What do you mean? Everybody knows your name.
Everyone knows the name I was given, yes.
Kind of like what? Raises eyebrows. So, your name's not 10 Point?
It's my deed name.
It is?
It was my first deed name. Most metas don't have or don't use a proper human name.
Oh. I mean, I just kind of sounds pretty bad, actually. I mean, I kind of assumed that, it doesn't matter.
She just kind of smirks. Don't feel bad. It wasn't your doing. And in the end, it means that my name is mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of looks down at the rock again. Huh. That's weird.
What is?
Oh, nothing. Just nothing. It doesn't matter.
If you say so.
You can peony that if you want.
I can and will.
As go for it. Do it.
Peony the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Need more empathy in my life. Jesus.
Get some of that sweet, sweet empathy.
And try. Oh!
Oh my god. You can see through the lies.
Tell me about your mother. Like, what
You
the
could
fuck?
you could just see Helena's life story like a movie. Right in front now. It's you can say when she says, yeah, it's nothing. It's kinda like she goes full think mode, Helena. But yeah, 10 point seen before. She does the face, she looks off to the side a bit. Yeah, just when she's trying to remember, trying to think, trying to just focus on what inside Helena's head. She kind of comes back, says, it doesn't matter. Instantly, that face returns. She, whatever it is in her head, she's thinking quite a lot on.
Tempo will give her a brief pause. It'll pick her head up so that she can aim. Look, kind of glance to the side. Just reaches out and pokes her shoulder. Like, does the slow poke, so it's like kind of like a little mini shove.
Huh? What?
You usually think so much about nothing.
It's kind of like narrows her eyes. It's just stupid.
Very few things are stupid. There's no such thing as this. Well, I won't say that. I have met some people. I can't imagine that any question that you would ask would be stupid.
It's not a question.
Then what is stupid?
I just I don't like to get ahead of myself, but deed names.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of thinking, what kind of ones would I get? That's pretty cool.
She breaks into a proper smile.
What? Don't laugh.
Everyone wonders what deed names they will have. Mine have been vastly different. I wasn't so fortunate with the first. And she just kind of gestures upwards, like above her head.
Why not?
Oh, what do you think 10 point refers to?
Oh, I assume she just kind of looks up at the antlers.
Just so?
Why is that a bad thing?
To be recognized for something that makes you wrong in the eyes of most people instead of for your actions. It's not a name I would choose. Most metis, at least initially, are named for their deformity, not for their actions.
Oh. Right.
But since then, I have been Hunter's Boon, I have been Hind's Mercy, I have been Fearless Protector, and now I am Thousand Cuts.
Go on. Don't let me distract you.
And each is recognition for deeds. Each is recognition for actions I've taken. Not for failures, not for blunders, not for being what I am, but being who I am. I'm sure that your first deed name will be very telling. And it will be very good. And I bet you... not even sure what to bet. I'll bet you the teaching of another Talon. That yours will have something to do with heart. She gives her a little Not even a poke, just a little tap on the chest.
And what? What am I supposed to wager against that?
Sooner or later, if somehow you were to lose, sooner or later, you will learn new talents. Or perhaps you will craft your own. It is not so difficult. The first making of the deal is a little more involved than learning one that's already been established, but once the deal has been made, it can be made again, and again and again. And I wouldn't put it past you to think of some very clever talents. Even I have made briefly used talents.
So, if I get a deed name that doesn't have something to do with heart, you owe me a new Talon.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
And you will learn another if you become Fiona.
I will.
And she'll rifle around in her bag a bit. Eventually, pull out a small pot, probably something cast out of clay, and will carefully pry the lid off and show her the blue. Like it's a cake of what looks kind of like not like a tidy makeup store cake of grease paint, but like something kind of like that. It's obviously some sort of paint or dye, but it is bright, bright blue. Every tribe has a form of war paint. Every tribe has a talent for it. Ours is called green dye.
But that's blue.
She grins. It's part of the joke of it, I suppose.
R- right. Okay.
And someone thought they were being very clever, I'm sure. And she'll go ahead and clap the lid back over it. She probably is not wearing her WOD anymore, but she will nonetheless put it back in. Well, actually, that was today, and she hasn't been back home yet. So, yeah, she's still covered in it. Including several points on her body, like at her shoulders and on the either side of her face, that are blatantly handprints as though she's been clasped by a pair of hands.
Oh. 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 I don't know if I can't remember, but still. And she turns around to the comically overpacked bag, unclips it, because yes, it's got to have clips on it, or else it wouldn't stay shut at this point. Yeah, as it kind of unclips, you see it like the top of it just kind of widens, like pops open. Nothing falls out, but she begins rifling around in there. She pulls out, for all intents and purposes, because you've seen the description, a bird's nest Pokeball,
Mm-hmm.
and she just offers it over to 10 Point. I don't know if I showed you these yet, but honestly, I can't remember. But still, it's fine.
And she does nonetheless take it and kind of just turn it over and over, marveling at it, because let's face it, making something small enough to use and carry involves like having either very wet reeds or twigs or the like, narrow ones too, to weave them together to make a little ball and still leave the gaps and whatnot to leave the impression of a nest. So yeah, she nonetheless still takes it and flicks it, spins it over lazily in her hands. I still think they're very clever. It is a good way to appeal to Dove. You have a lot of insight.
Have I
and a
showed
good
you before?
instinct. You have.
Oh,
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I got all like excited and stuff.
You should be. She's still smiling. She still seems to marvel in it. She's still in every appearance very much approving. She's not like shocked because she's seen them before, but she still nonetheless seems to kind of enjoy holding it, flipping it over, likes how light it is obviously handling it very delicately. You
Let's
have
get the.
great ingenuity, Elena.
Thank you. It's I just think what comes natural, you know?
And that is the way you should. It is the best way to do it. Imagine how many people have been taught the same way of making a Talon over and over. And while you may not have made a new Talon in the strictest sense, and that Gaia's breaths are an established deal, she kind of holds the little ball out in front of her nose. You have still crafted a new way to make them that appeals to the spirits just as well as anything that they recognize as established, if not more. I should think about changing up my own method. At this point, doing them this way is more of an homage than anything else.
I just didn't want it to get all uncomfortable in there.
Good.
So it's kind of like shrugs. Mm. It's a lot of work, but it makes sense.
And she will very gingerly put it back in her hand. It does. You make them with care, and you make them in a way that is thoughtful to the spirits they'll house. It's important. There are many kind of Theurges, Helena, but your knack for finding a way to make something that will appeal to the spirit, I wouldn't be surprised if you went on to make and craft wonderful fetishes, powerful fetishes.
Nah, I don't know about fetishes. Talons like that, I can do.
And why not a fetish?
I don't know. It seems kind of looks down at 10 points bag where she knows there's one in there, and there is that one itself. I don't know. It seems a bit weird.
And she'll just reach out and gingerly look to tip her chin up so she can get eye contact again. They aren't always forever.
Just
Especially among the Fianna, it's very customary to craft a deal that binds the spirit to a fetish for, say, 100 years. And in 100 years, the Theurge that holds it can attempt to initiate a new bargain to extend it. I've heard of fetishes made that were crafted only to last the lifetime of their bearer. I've heard of fetishes that were made very temporarily. In the end, it is up to you and to the spirit, but they are not always forever. And those spirits that go into things like claves, things that are meant to last, they understand. They know. But that is why we have to maintain them and show them respect. She actually, lowers a hand to kind of affectionately brush over the surface of the bag. I keep it clean, both physically and spiritually. I care for it. I've even paid tumenage to it.
Oh,
You don't forget that there is a living thing in it. You don't stop respecting it or treating it like there's a living thing in it. An angry fetish is a terrible, terrible thing to have to calm and soothe.
yeah, yeah. No, I get what you mean. It's just weird.
She smiles. I'm sure you thought Talons were weird at one point as well.
Oh,
Sounds like
I
I
think
recall very clearly that you did.
I just think this is all weird. But I mean, I'm not exactly normal, so I'm more than happy to accept all this crazy stuff.
It's weird. But in a way you're not used to thinking. It makes a certain amount of sense, doesn't it?
The old, it's weird, but just accept it because it's gonna get weirder kind of thing.
Not even that. There's a certain beauty to it. And in the
Oh,
end, it is maybe outside of what you would have expected to believe before, but
no, I don't mean it's weird in a bad way. I mean, it's almost too good to be true sometimes.
she seems a bit surprised. I mean, she shouldn't be. She likes to think she knows Helena relatively well, but maybe it's just that the word weird itself. She's not used to hearing in a positive light. Whatever the
What?
case, she seems a little surprised.
What?
I don't think I've ever heard someone say weird in a good way. Call something strange in a good way.
Why would I say anything bad about this?
You wouldn't. Suppose it's just the meaning I'm used to tying to the words.
Yeah, but hey, sometimes you gotta step out the box.
I imagine the box is very boring
It is.
and
And if,
stifling.
I'm not one who's really about the box. Mainly because I forget, but I've always been weird.
In the good way, I hope.
Always. Depends on your point of view.
Hmm. I suppose it does. And she will finally just, perhaps it's just because this is where she's used to lounging. She finally just rolls back onto her back. Just from the sit, just rolls back into a lounge.
Oh, oh, oh. She goes, you see how it abruptly starts digging through the bag.
Blink.
She pulls out, eventually, after rustling. You hear, like, the zip tie. Those little plastic zip tie bags.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of those being split open. She pulls something out. and has it in her hands. All right, I did a thing.
Did you?
Yeah. And she holds it out. And it is yet another friendship bracelet.
And who's this one for?
Well, it's for you.
Just to make sure out of character, didn't you already give her one?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't forgetting.
Basically, Katie, what I'm saying to you is the plot thickens.
It does! And she'll kind of hopefully hold out a hand.
Oh, yeah, she gives it a.
And
This
yeah,
one is solid bright orange.
huh. And yeah, she'll totally happily take it and flick it over and look it over. Probably see that she's getting pretty handy with these. The nodding's probably more even. And her eyebrows kind of pop up. And she will begin very busily to try to one-handedly tie it onto the same hand as the first.
And if she's struggling, Helena will excitedly jump in and help.
She is. She's struggling because even like trying to go.
Helena excitedly jumps in and helps.
Oh God, her wrist is assaulted.
Yes. By friendship.
Oh yeah, and she doesn't like the first one is not bow tied. She has knotted it firmly on there. It's not coming off. She has no interest in ever taking it off. Thank you very much.
And she just sits there and smiles.
You seem to be having a lot of fun with these.
Well, why not? I get bored a lot, so.
Is she wearing an array of them herself? I hope.
She would be, but you know,
Oh God damn it!
they would have all fell off.
She glances to her wrists and knits her brow and goes, "I, were you?
What?
Oh dear, we need to dedicate those, don't we?
What? Dedicate what?
Your arms are very bare.
Kind of looks down at her arms. Well, yeah, I'm just wearing a t-shirt.
Weren't you wearing some bracelets before?
Oh. Oh God. Yes.
Would you
Yes, I
like
was.
me to go get them back and dedicate them to you?"
Please.
And yeah, we will say there's a brief aside as Tempoint just goes ahead and right then and there will promptly slide herself off the rock. Trot back to where they came across, retrieve them with the bag, and will soon, probably quickly, because let's face it, she probably just cheated and took Lupus. Will very quickly return. And flick open the bag and go to quickly hand them all out and over. Like how
Tell
many?
me, Katie.
Huh?
No, you tell me how many there were.
Oh God,
Now
let's
that
see.
now it's in your hands. How many bracelets was Helena wearing at that time?
We will say 9 because I feel like it, and 10 Point loves that number.
Yeah, I thought as much. All
I,
right.
I really wanted to go with the knee jerk 7, but no, 9 because I can.
Fine.
And so yeah, she'll begin plucking them out, keeping count of how many versus how many she was sure she put in there, and probably after 8 has to go properly digging for the last one as it shuffled down among her other belongings.
As she pulls it out, it comes with a handful of birdseed.
Oh, you think it's the only one that came with a handful of birdseed?
I'm just making sure that would stay.
Yeah, the last one comes out amidst a handful of birdseed, which she flicks in a scatter out among the flowers, and then offers it over.
She puts them all back on.
It's like a proper, like eye burning array of
Rainbow.
colors.
It's
Isn't it?
rainbowed. It's so rainbowed. She just sits there smiling. Ah, thanks.
Hmm?
Thank you.
And yeah, ominous dominus, they're getting dedicated. So there.
Boom.
But yeah, that's what she'll poke at them. Do they all have meaning, or were you just having fun?
No, no, they all have meaning.
Can you tell me one of them?
Every single one I make has a meaning.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Then what's this one? And she'll gesture to the orange one she just got because she's curious. She's curious as hell.
Secret.
Oh, that's. I'd almost dare say that's mean. Are all of them secret?
Yeah.
Even the ones for yourself?
Yeah, because I'll give the game away.
Oh, it is a game then.
Oh, yeah, because I mean, you want to figure it out.
I really do.
Well, there you go then. It's a game.
Can't even give one for starters.
Fox teaches his lessons mischievously. She just smiles.
And you are that. She tucks her hands back behind her head again, laying back out. I'll have to wait for you to give more away.
Yeah. Maybe you will. Smiles mischievously.
Have you done more than one for anyone else?
Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I'll give you that one for free then. Yes, I have.
I should think I'd find out sooner or later. Everyone will be wearing them.
I would hope so.
They better be.
Katie, would you like to roll a wits alertness?
Yes.
Roll a wits alertness.
I'm gonna. Can't stop me.
I hope you succeed at this, because... Yes.
It's still one. It's still one.
Yeah, you can see she's smiling. Like, she's, like, really smiling. As, you know, your eyes kind of drift down and you realize it hits you. Of course she's made more than one for someone else. She's wearing 9 of them.
Oh. She should have known better to even phrase it that way. She's got that big cheeky grin, and she gets a playful, like the playful half shove. Besides yourself.
No, that you had your one question.
Oh, you're awful. I will just have to stop playing nice with you, I suppose. I actually have to watch what I say now. Getting all grown up. Playing technicality games with me.
I'm not playing technicality games.
Oh, I lost that question on a technicality.
No, it's a true
I
answer.
should have qualified it.
Should have.
No wonder you gave it away for free. It was already given for free. Terrible. Does she have a bright orange band?
Yes.
Just a flat orange one?
Just a flat orange one. She does.
Does she have one of the ones that's a primary color and then just a strip of another color on it?
She has quite a few of those, yes.
Damn it. Are any of them blue or green with blue or blue with pink?
Yes, there are those there.
Damn it. And I imagine Helena will probably catch her kind of eyeballing the ones she has on.
She just the smile widens slightly. As Hella could clearly tell, she's ticking, trying to figure it out.
Oh yeah, she is. Feel like you're cheating by wearing everything everyone else has.
Am I, though?
Oh, you are.
Am I?
Absolutely.
But am I?
Oh, I'm quite sure. She's
Alright
not
then.
quite sure. She's obviously fucking around.
That's alright then.
That or we're all gonna end up with a lot more bracelets.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Just have to wait to find out. You won't figure it out.
I won't.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Why not?
I have confidence.
Then where's the fun in an unsolvable puzzle?
Oh, it's not unsolvable.
You think someone else will beat me to it?
Maybe.
Peonying that maybe.
Peony, that baby. No, she's lying. She she thinks 10 Point might get it first.
She actually has a pretty easy, pretty big smile on. All things considered, she's having fun with this. Hmm. I want you to appreciate how stupid I'm going to look grabbing everyone by the wrist to see what they've got.
Oh, I will.
She'll have to make ample apologies. Giving everyone my cooties.
Cooties? Please, that's like not been a thing since I was like 10.
Well, you haven't seen Metis since you were 10, have you? There aren't many on this sept who would mind me touching them, but there are some.
Why?
Because I'm misborn.
But you're here. How are you like not born if you're here?
I'm born, but I am still twisted. And she points up. Just because my deformity is not disgusting to a human eye does not mean that it's not disgusting to those reared in the nation.
Huh.
I'm very lucky.
Right.
You should have seen the old keeper of the land. I'm fairly sure he burned a pair of shoes after kicking me.
Why?
Because they touched me. She says this all very casually. She hasn't gotten any more somber or serious. It's just very matter of fact for her.
That what that no, that's like really bad.
Well, it's not very nice. But it is not unheard of. This is a very liberal, very accepting place. And I can assure you, I'm fairly sure at the very least if I touch the warder without express permission, I might stand to lose a finger.
Oh, right.
He's not unkind, but the traditions are what they are.
Just to,
I make their skin crawl.
why?
Mm, you saw John. Would you have very
Not,
much wanted him to touch you?
not properly.
What'd you say?
Not properly, because I don't even know what he fucking looks like, to be honest.
John was completely hairless. He was covered head to toe in horrific burn scars, and he had a withered, like, fucked up arm.
I mean,
Like he
just
was he
'cause,
was properly hideous.
I mean, he's not exactly the best to look at, but like he's not diseased, so I mean, I wouldn't appreciate him being in my personal space, just because I don't like appreciate anyone being in my personal space if they don't like aren't allowed.
Well, let me explain it then in a way that maybe makes it make more sense. At least at home. If you think about it, all the twisted things you've ever seen. Have you fought worm tainted creatures before? Have you seen them?
Not really.
Many things. Anything, really, that has been exposed to the worm, that has been tainted by it to a certain point. It shows. Worm taint can be subtle in small doses, but once it's taken root, it manifests. The ones that have it become twisted and wrong. And while being a menace is not communicable, thankfully, worm taint is. It twists the body and it twists the mind. I imagine that when the first metis were born, they were assumed worm tainted because they were twisted. There's no such thing as a flawless menace. And
No such
while we know better, and you know better, if you think about it, it is easy still to draw the two together.
no such thing as a flawless anybody.
She smiles again. And this is why your deed name will have to do with heart. I'm almost sure of it.
Just out of fairness, I'm not purposely gonna try and do stuff to try and change that. Kind of half smiles playfully.
If not your first, then one following.
No, that's cheating. Deal's a
Hmm.
deal. It's already been made.
Oh, the deal is the same.
Oh, no, no, no. You said first D name.
I did.
You did.
That was the deal.
Yeah.
But even if you tried to sabotage
I wouldn't
your
do
own
that.
deed name,
Why would I do that?
I am sure that if not the first, then one of them would have it.
Kind of narrows her eyes.
I'm
Like
not
the
making a
you
new deal.
like the you win this round.
So devious.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I've got a while yet anyway.
Have you been learning your rights?
Always.
Good. It always takes time, especially for the urges.
Yeah.
Proving yourself wise is, I think, much more difficult, much more time consuming than proving yourself honorable or glorious.
Well, wisdom comes with age and well, you know, that whole thing.
Just so. It is attributed much of the time to time
Like
spent learning and experiencing.
you can be an honorable or glorious baby, but you can't be a wise one. So, even though I'm 22, I think. Am I what I am? I don't know.
I don't know. Compared to some first changes, you might even be considered quite old.
I don't. She actually stops and thinks for a minute. Between 19 and 22. Definitely between there.
Her playful smile broadens.
What?
Whatever the number. I am sure you have the ingenuity to find a way.
Eventually. And she'll begin rustling through her bag again, pulling out more crap, along with stuff that she can continue to make more birds' nests. And she will begin doing exactly that.
Yep, and 10 Point will begin poking through the various slices of antler she's left out, picking them up, pulling them in front of her face so she can see because she's laying on her back and she likes it here. Pardon. But she'll pick up one and another and eyeball the ones in various stages and finally will where she has some that have some deep set lines set we'll pick up one of the fresher ones that just has some barely etched in lines on it and take up her tools and begin grooving into it, setting the deeper portions, carving them out, just kind of meditatively, almost just soothing herself much the same way in working on her craft.
And yeah, because I accidentally rolled too many dice the first time, take the one off that just because it's the last dice.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, that second roll is what I was after.
No joke.
So, because she remembered, she actually remembers the damn words. After a little bit, I don't know, actually just sit there and start to hum to a tune, and eventually, 10 Point will hear her start to sing. She's pretty good.
What is she singing?
What is she singing, indeed?
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. After realizing I made this decision for her to start, I didn't actually make the decision of what she would sing. So,
Aha.
she sings something. Fuck. Well, now I've got to figure it out. Well, shit. It's 10 to 6 in the morning. You know what? Fuck it. Just because I know it's out there. Use Somebody, Kings of Leon.
What is it?
I hope that's by Kings of Leon.
It is.
Yes, Kings of Leon, Use Somebody. There. You start singing that.
As I look up the video.
No, save it. I'll send you something afterwards. Just pull the cord, Katie.
Oh, okay.
Scene.
Oh, sorry.
Ah.
Sorry. I had to make sure I actually knew the song. But yes, shall we call it there?
Unless you have anything else important to do.
And now that I know what song it is, 10 Point will probably take up idly humming along, though she will not in any way eclipse or even necessarily join in the words, just humming happily as she goes about her own bit of work. And yes, I think there we can call it. So thank you, players, for playing, watchers for watching. We will see you next time on Thayard Shenanigans across New York.